Jurgen Klopp, with all the resources and the backing that he's had at Liverpool, can actually be considered a failure. He should have won many more trophies than what he actually did in the 9 years that he has been at Liverpool. So those are not my words. Those are the words of Liverpool fans in a Liverpool fan forum. I was doing research for another video and I happened to stumble across that forum. I'm very interested to see what some, not all, of the Liverpool fans think about Jurgen Klopp's tenure as Liverpool manager. Now obviously, I don't know the context around it. This could have happened directly after Liverpool fell out of the title race. So there could have been a few disgruntled, angry fans and they were just busy venting. But that got me thinking. So what I decided to do was take an unbiased look at Jurgen Klopp's tenure as Liverpool manager. And at the end of this particular video, I will give you my insights, whether I agree with the fans or not. And then stick around to the end as a bonus feature, because I will give Liverpool my unsolicited advice on what not to do. And I said not to do on their transition from their current manager, which is Jurgen Klopp, to their new manager when Jurgen leaves at the end of the season. Cue the music. Under Brendan Rodgers, Liverpool had struggled in the 2015-2016 season. They'd won just 4 of their 11 games, and in the previous year, they failed to qualify for the Champions League. And after a 1-1 draw, Brendan Rodgers was fired, and Jurgen Klopp was appointed on the 8th of October 2015. Of course, it could have been so much more different for Brendan Rodgers had Steven Gerrard not slipped, and of course the now famous song So what did Jurgen Klopp achieve in his tenure as Liverpool manager? In 2019-2020, of course, he won the Premier League. In the year before that, in 2018-2019, Liverpool finished second to Manchester City. City had accumulated 98 points and Liverpool had accumulated 97 points. Now, in the history of the Premier League, there's no club that has gone and won 97 points and not won the Premier League. So I think Jurgen Klopp was extremely unlucky that unfortunately he came across the unmovable object, which is Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. Had Pep and Man City not been around, which is a stupid thing to say, I do agree with you, but think about it, 97 points and you do not win the league. I think Jurgen Klopp was very, very unlucky in that season. Of course, in the 2021-2022 season, Liverpool finished with 92 points to City's 93. And again, City walked off with the title with 1 point. Again, something that Liverpool and Liverpool fans, including Jurgen Klopp, would have expected the club to walk away with. So in that period of time, in theory, Liverpool should have actually won 3 titles. Was it not for Manchester City and Pep Guardiola? In 2018-2019, Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp won the UEFA Champions League. But here's the near misses. In 2017-2018, Liverpool lost to Real Madrid 3-1 in the UEFA Champions League. Of course, who can forget that game? Mohamed Salah was injured. Mohamed Salah, at the time, was Liverpool's top scorer, was injured in the first 20 minutes through a Ramos tackle. And then Loris Karius probably had a game that Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp would probably hope to forget for the rest of their lives. Karius made 2 critical mistakes. One, he threw the ball directly into the path of Karim Benzema, who then went on to score. And then the second one is he let the ball slip through his hands from a long-range shot by Gareth Bale. Of course, nothing could be done about the third goal from Real Madrid with Gareth Bale's magnificent overhead kick. And Real Madrid walked off with the title that season, 3-1. Now, I am not saying that had Mo Salah been on the pitch for the entire game, and Loris not made the mistakes he made, that Liverpool could have won that Champions League. But up until that time, there was no clear winner. There was no team dominating that game. The change in the game came along based on the mistakes, and the change in the game came along when Mo Salah went off. Jurgen also went on to win the EFL Cup, which is a Carabao Cup, which was in 2021 and 2022. The near misses to that was that after a 1-1 draw in 2015-2016, Liverpool lost to Man City on penalties. Jurgen also went on to win the FA Cup in 2021-2022 and the Community Shield in 2022. Of course, there were near misses in that he lost the Community Shield again to Man City on penalties, and he did exactly the same thing to Arsenal on penalties as well. But here's something that people conveniently forget. Yes, he lost the UEFA Europa League in 2015-2016 where they lost 3-1 to Seville. That was the season Jurgen Klopp came into Liverpool. He took them into a UEFA Europa League final in his first season at Liverpool. Unfortunately, goals by Kevin Gamero and 2 by Koch in the first half cancelled Daniel Sturridge's first half goal, and they went down 3-1. So was his tenure at Liverpool taken all of that into account, considering that he won a league title, could have won 2 more, was it not for the juggernaut that is City? He could have. I'm not saying he would have. He could have won the Champions League against Real Madrid, were it not for the mistakes by an errant goalkeeper and Mo Salah having to go off the pitch. So was his tenure a failure? In my opinion, I disagree with the Liverpool fans. How do you go and win 97 points and still lose the league? How do you go and get 92 points and still lose the league by 1 point in both occasions? Was it not for the juggernaut that is Man City and Pep Guardiola, Liverpool could quite easily, have won 3 league titles in the time that Jurgen Klopp was there. And then you go to the Champions League. I'm not saying he would have won against Real Madrid, because that Real Madrid side is an awesome team. And they've got pedigree in the Champions League that no other team in the world has. But you take away the fact that Mo Salah had to come off after 20 minutes, and the fact that their goalkeeper was a complete disaster, they could, and I use the word very lightly, could have won against Real Madrid. Because at that particular time, no team had the upper hand. No team was the clear favorite. It was only after those events that things started to change in Real Madrid's failure. And then you take the Europa League, where in Jurgen Klopp's first season, he took them to a final. Yes, he came up against a team that was well-schooled and with pedigree in that particular competition, and they went down 3-1. Had Liverpool a little bit more experience as a team, who knows how that could have turned out. So he's missed out on lesser cups through penalties, which happens. Penalties are generally a lottery, and anybody can walk off with the win. So he could have gotten more than what he did. So in my opinion, Jurgen's tally could easily be 9 or 10 trophies. And to me, that's an impressive haul of trophies for a manager that's coming into the Premier League for the first time. And I don't care if you're coming into a team like Liverpool. So in my opinion, he definitely has been a success at the club. So why is he resigning if he's been such a success at the club? So he's basically said that he's tired and that for his own sanity, that he needs a rest and he wants to take a year off. And I remember Pep Guardiola doing the same thing, I think, when he left Barcelona. He took a year off before he went to Bayern Munich. And I think Jurgen wants to gather himself and wants to rejuvenate himself and refresh himself. And I think for his own sanity. And the other thing is, playing in the Premier League is not easy, or coaching in the Premier League is not easy. From 1 to 20, any team can win on any given day. This is not any other leagues where you have 2 or 3 strong teams and everybody else is cannon fodder. Here from 1 to 20, anybody can win at any time. So the pressure on managers to get their teams to perform week in and week out must take an enormous psychological and emotional toll on the managers and players alike. Like I said, you don't get 97 points and still lose the league. So I think the head-to-head with Pep Guardiola is really beginning to wear Jurgen Klopp down. Add in Arteta's Arsenal team, and then your Chelsea's, which I think are going to get back up there under Mauricio Pochettino. And the fact that Villa's there, that Spurs are there, you get into a point now where it's getting more and more difficult for managers not only to hang on to their sanity, but to make sure that they continuously win, irrespective of the backing that they do have or that they don't have. So it's a very difficult league to manage in. So here's my bonus piece on your transition from your new manager, from your old manager, which is Jurgen Klopp, into your new manager. Now, I don't know who the new manager is going to be, but the one thing that he needs to do when he does get into Liverpool is integrate himself with the fans, the players, and the community alike. That's what Jurgen Klopp did. If Slot from Feyenoord is to be your new manager, remember one thing. There has been no Dutch manager in the Premier League that has been successful. Nothing against the Dutch league, but it's nowhere near as competitive as what the EPL is. And bringing in a manager that has not coached at that high level of intensity, I think is a huge risk that Liverpool is taking. In my opinion, I would not bring him in. I would find somebody else. But that's just my opinion. Most importantly, when your new manager comes in, do not replace the entire backroom staff at Liverpool as it currently stands with your people. David Moyes did it when he came into Manchester United to disastrous consequences. He got rid of Alex Ferguson's entire backroom team, backroom staff. There was no continuity and it fell apart completely. If I was the new manager, I would suggest that he hangs on to as many of Jurgen Klopp's backroom staff as is possible. Just remember, Sir Alex Ferguson left David Moyes a very aging squad. Yes, they won the Premier League the season before, but the writing was on the wall. That team wasn't being refreshed. Wayne Rooney wanted out of that team because he could see that there was no ambition to bring in quality players, especially after Ronaldo left. Yes, Van Persie was a quality player, but he was coming towards the end of his career. And in fact, he did make the difference the final season that Sir Alex won. But there's no doubt Sir Alex left for David Moyes an aging squad. Jurgen Klopp has not done that to his successor. What is left is an exciting, dynamic team and a group of youngsters that's coming through that has already broken into the team, that has shown promise and a lot of talent. So the new manager has got a bundle and a huge amount of talent to work with. Jurgen built that entire front line again. Yes, there's issues with Mo Salah. We don't know if he's going to stay. He rebuilt his midfield and he replaced his age in midfield, and that's the reason why they challenged again this year. And his backline has been solid. Now, maybe the reason why they're bringing in a Dutch manager is because they're trying to hang on to Van Dijk. It is no secret that Van Dijk is not happy that Jurgen Klopp is leaving, and he said he will make up his mind where his future lies in the new year. So hopefully, most importantly, is that the Liverpool team needs to trust the new manager. I can remember when David Moyes took over, there was very, very little trust. And the David Moyes style of play did not go down well with the team that he inherited. In fact, Ryan Giggs was rumored to have stormed off the training pitch, shouting, "This is Manchester United," after a training session in which David Moyes tried to get everybody to play very defensive. So the players has to trust the new manager. So that's going to be very interesting to see if they do. And then under no circumstances make changes to the playing style of Liverpool. Yes, you can make subtle changes, but do not go and make wholesale changes. Liverpool plays a certain way, so continue playing that way. Also, do not go out and bring in players that you feel will fit into the team purely because you want to make the team yours. You have sufficient players and sufficient youth coming through the system to be able to make them play the Liverpool way. Now, for some reason or other, new managers that come into a club want to bring in their own players so that they can make the team in their own image and say, it's my team, not Jurgen Klopp's team. I think you'll be making a mistake if you do that. Who knows? Maybe Slot will fail and they'll bring in Alonso. The idea is always to be, if you want to follow a legend, is always be the manager to follow the manager who followed the legend. Because then you're taking over something that has probably gone so pear-shaped that it's quite easily to build. But if you're taking over after Jurgen Klopp, directly after Jurgen Klopp, the comparisons are going to be horrendous. So from my side, cheers, Jurgen Klopp. In my opinion, you are a legend and you've really achieved at Liverpool. I do not agree with the Liverpool fans that say you have not achieved at Liverpool. You truly, well and truly deserve the accolades coming your way. And I hope that you do have a good rest, and that when you do come back into the league, or when you do get back into coaching again, that it's not at Liverpool. Now maybe we can get rid of Pep as well, and then all things will be a little bit more even. Thanks for hanging out, guys. This has been Insight with Zaid. Cheers.